Welcome to Daily Steps from One Extraordinary Marriage, where we outline simple steps that you can take to have the ultimate marriage adventure. I'm Tony DeLorenzo, your co-host, along with my beautiful wife, Elisa. In today's show, we answer the question, how do you stop your spouse from lying?
Now, the short answer is you can't stop anyone from lying, as that's a personal choice, right? You can't make me, it's not just lying, it's virtually any type of behavior. You can't make someone do something. But for every short answer, there's a long answer. And as we start this particular show, I just want to say, full disclosure, Tony and I have lied to one another in our marriage. You're not listening to a couple here that has never lied.
No.
To one another. And we've had some really big lies. There was one Christmas where I didn't tell Tony how much I was spending until we had to reconcile our budget for the month of January. And I had overspent on the Christmas budget by about, it was like $700 or $800.
It was. And then on the other side was coming into marriage, Elisa knew that I had viewed pornography, but it was years of lying and telling her that it wasn't that big of a deal, or I wasn't looking at it, when in actuality, I had been.
And the thing is that, as a society, we all justify the little white lies. Like, it's that, this is not a big deal. Like, he or she doesn't really want to know, all the details, or doesn't want to know the truth because it'll just, make him or her upset. And the fact of the matter is, and this is played out in our marriage, it plays out in marriages literally all around the world, is that every lie costs the two of you a measure of trust when that lie is discovered, right? It's like the little, tap, 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 the annoying tap that suddenly will take down a whole wall, right? Because you get into that place and where it becomes habitual. But before that happens, before it becomes habitual, we got to look at the reasons why people lie. Because I think a lot of times it was just like, oh, well, you're just a liar. And that's not an identity. What we're talking about is their actions, right? And so why do people lie? Some people lie for fear of punishment or the repercussions, the consequences. It's the mentality of, I don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah. And that can start at a young age even.
Oh, sure. Who wrote on the walls? I don't know, but you're holding the crayon, right? It's pretty obvious who wrote on the walls. Some people lie out of embarrassment. Like, I can't believe I did that. Oh my gosh. Like, yeah. That one really, it blows my mind, right?
I would say embarrassment was one of the big ones for me when it was viewing the pornography. So Elisa would ask, and I would, out of embarrassment, just be like, no, I was just, I was searching some other stuff, or I was doing something else. You know what I mean? Because I was embarrassed personally for going back to pornography and looking at it after I'd said, hey, you know what? I'm not this time, or, the next time I'm not, or the next time I'm not. And so it was a place of embarrassment, like, gosh, man, I keep going back to it.
Well, and with that example, as you're talking about the pornography, it's actually also ties into the third reason why a lot of people lie. And that's people lie out of shame. The sense of shame that you'll think less of me if I completely tell you the truth. And
it could be one of these. It could be all three of these. You could be lying, or your spouse could be lying, not because of only being punished in some way or form, but because they're embarrassed about their actions and they feel shameful because of their actions. And
lying puts such a tremendous burden on marriages. Those repetitive lies, those lies that, discovery and all of this type of stuff. I mean, I think of some of the most famous celebrities and even military personnel who have had their lies and their secrets uncovered. And I remember, when the head of the CIA a number of years ago, when his affair was discovered, there had been all of these lies covering it up. And I remember thinking in that moment, here's somebody who has access to so much top secret, classified, all different ways to hide something. And his lies came out. Literally were plastered all around the world. And you think about the scope of those lies. And, my coaching clients often hear that your lies will always come out. Right? They will. And so it's, what can the two of you do to create a safe space in order for the truth to become the default instead of the lies. And so, part of that is having regular conversations, like real conversations, not just like, hey, did you pick up the milk? But we need to talk about what's going on in our marriage. And here's why. So many couples after that, like dating, honeymoon phase, get into going through the motions when it comes to conversation. And so it's really easy to just let those lies sit up there at the top because we're not digging deep into how are you feeling about this, or what are you scared about, or what are we dealing with as a couple, right? I can let that extra, credit card charge slide. I can, maybe not check on you when you're, on the computer, what you're doing and things like that, because we're just coexisting because we're not even really connected. Right. And so you've got to have that regular connection. You've got to get into this place of creating a culture of transparency in your marriage, right? Transparency across all facets.
And these are big things, guys. And so I just want to say this, that if you're in a place where you're not able to break through to your spouse, it may mean that you need help. Mm-hmm. So seek that out. Coaching with Elisa, you can go to oneextraordinarymarriage.com/coaching. Go to a counselor, a therapist, a pastor in your church. You need to be addressing these together and individually.
Mm-hmm. Because in that place of getting to the root, and trying to create that safe space, you may find that the lying is a habitual problem. Mm-hmm. It goes deeper than just, no, I didn't pick up donuts this morning, and the donut wrapper's in the car, right? It's much deeper, and it's something that needs assistance to work through, because what you want to create in your marriage is a culture of truth and a safe space where you don't have to be worried about the emotions, the reactions, and all of this kind of stuff, but you need help to be able to do that.
Do you want your question answered here on Daily Steps? Send an email to dailysteps@oneextraordinarymarriage.com and put in the subject line, Daily Steps question. For more information on this topic, check out oneextraordinarymarriage.com/349.